Welcome back, friends and fans, to yet another Gates of Hell video. Though today is something that you haven't seen yet. Actually, what I'm going to be doing today is a little special. So I've had a lot of requests for this, and with a lot of my friends that I play with, I often see them, asking me, what each shell type is and what it means and what it does and how to counter stuff. So today I'll be doing a certain boot camp. This does work in Men of War. It might be slightly different, but it does work the same, and essentially the tactic is exactly the same. It's just Gates of Hell is a little bit prettier and a little bit more modern. So without further ado, let's get this done. So in single player, and then you go to campaign, and then since I think I beat most of the campaign already, I'll do it again just for you guys. I'm gonna go to select a campaign and then basic combat training. So this here is military camp. So, uh, it's nothing too crazy, but it is worth showing you. It tells you all the controls, how to do stuff, and what everything means. So I do think it does open with um, a cinematic. Anyways, I do like the quotes too on the top left. It is often possible to decide the issue of a battle merely by making an unexpected shift of one's main weight. And that kind of goes with Sun Tzu's Art of War. Roll like thunder and strike like lightning. You know, use a darkness to your advantage, the fog of war. Um, Being able to move without being able to be detected. So I will be quiet for this if it does have a cinematic. And just for the sake of the people trying to watch this, pretty sure I'll be trying to do this in one video, though if it is over an hour, I'll be keeping it in two, just so the people trying to watch don't get like a sensory overload trying to watch, and so it's a little bit easier on you guys. Without further ado, let's get this done.
Soldaten, welcome to the Kummersdorf training camp. We expect nothing but the very best from all of you. We are on the brink of war. Here you will undergo basic combat training to defend the fatherland. First off, grab a helmet, grab your weapon, and grab some ammunition.
Alright, so we get these three boxes here, and we do get control of one of these fine folks right here, and it is this man.
And move him around with
So what
your
I'm going to do is I'm going to press X to search a box,
transfer the items
and then
boxes and soldiers' inventories.
to select it.
Grab a helmet, rifle, and ammo from the different boxes.
So I'm just going to follow everyone else here. In this crate, there is a helmet. I did not mean to grab that many. Oh my god. No, put them all back. I didn't realize that. I didn't want to take so many. Alright, there's the helmet. And press X again. I'm going to search this crate, which I think has ammo. No, just a shovel, which will still be useful. I don't think we were required to take that. And then we're going to run over here and grab a... I'm actually just gonna use this crate first. Can I search this? There you go. There's some ammunition. I forgot how many rounds it told us to take, so I'll just take as many as I can, and I'll be organized so you guys with OCD don't get died. And then I'm gonna run over here and grab a rifle.
The Karabiner 98K is the standard infantry weapon. A precise bolt-action rifle, ideal for engaging the enemy at medium and long ranges. Now you must learn your weapon and put your aim to the test. Head to the western shooting range.
Ha, I'm faster than all of you. And so a lot of you might see this, but I will actually... Oh.
Get ready to shoot at the targets. Take cover behind the sandbags.
Get to cover behind the sandbags and get ready to fire. Select your soldiers and
Oh,
hover the
he
cursor
jumped the
close
sandbag.
to the sandbag. A silhouette previews the position of your soldiers behind cover. Utilize cover as much as possible to increase the survivability and accuracy of your soldiers.
Shoot at the targets, Soldaten. Steady your aim for as long as possible to get the most accurate shots.
So a lot of you will see me doing this, especially if I run out of MP and I have to use a tank crew. So what I do, so he has a hat here, a Feldmütze, and a Stahlhelm. So you right click, so it's dark right now, so you right click it and you unequip it, so he has no helmet on right now. And then you right click what you want, so he has the hat, so I just switch it. Be sure not to double click or anything, because it will like unload everything. So how many of you shoot that? And pressing E will give me direct control, which is very nice. Oh, that's a skill issue right there. And what's nice is that you can take control of him, and then I can go way over here, and then it. Another thing that you'll notice is steadying my shot. So if I move like this, like the circle gets really big, and then if I stay right here, the shot will steady. Well, the hole at the end of it will become closed. Here's oh, and oh, there's one more over here. And I think that's it. I don't know where everyone else is firing at.
The Wehrmacht counts with the finest weaponry available to any infantryman. A variety of automatic and precision weapons are available on the tables. Some are more effective for short-range fights, others favor long-distance engagements. Use your preferred armament against the next set of targets.
You now have control of 3 more soldiers.
Okay.
You can highlight objects that can be collected by your units, like the weapons on the table, by clicking on the Highlight Items button on the bottom right corner of the interface cube-shaped button, or by holding the hotkey C by default.
So when you see me, I do this too when I equip the tank crews because they cost the least amount of CP and MP. Is that you see me press buttons that will have everything highlight. So if I press C, you'll gonna see me spam it like this, so it's easier to find. If you press C, you'll be able to see armaments such as ammo, magazines of any kind, weapons of any kind, explosives like a grenade or TNT or even as much as like a medical satchel. So I'm gonna have one rifleman. I'm gonna come over here and have and in order to pick up the weapon, you do have to have C selected. So I'm gonna have a machine gunner and pick that up, and if you go on the bottom left here, and then you can have him switch his weapon out. So now I have a machine gunner. I'm gonna have one sniper, which is right here. And I'm gonna have one submachine gunner. So he's already got ammo. It's just a Kar 98 with a scope on it, so I don't have to switch any ammo. And here's the SMG. And I will have him main equip the SMG and come back up here. So, this is our sniper rifle, so it does take a while to aim. And it also just has better accuracy over longer distance, of course. Like, see, for example, if I go over here, there we go, hit it. Of course, the circle is quite wide, and it depends on the units, because he's only a recruit. Down here in the bottom left, you'll see his rank and his veterancy. He has no veterancy. He's also not a designated sniper, so nothing too crazy. Over here, we have our submachine gunner, which is better for close range. So he does short and medium range. MP40s do pretty good at short range as well. And over here we have our machine gun. He could just lay down tons and tons of suppressing fire and whatnot. And I do forget what he said. Okay, so we're just gonna clear everything out. So I'm just gonna have these guys shoot everything for me and see how this SMG is kind of having some trouble hitting the target from such a long range way. Like, see, it's have him. That's actually completely out of his range, so he'll actually switch his rifle, which is really cool. And you can see what's in your range and out of your range by seeing if the number, the meter it gives you the distance, is red or
Gute
green.
Arbeit, Soldaten. Now head over to the grenade area. Use the hand grenades to blow up some of the fuel barrels.
And also another thing,
You can throw grenades to eliminate targets behind cover. For the most effective use of grenades, you can cook them in direct control mode. Select a single soldier and press the direct control button on the bottom left of the interface, or press the hotkey E by default. Direct control allows you to micro-control one unit with WASD movement and mouse aiming and shooting.
Alright, so one last thing before we end up moving on is how you can group. So if you see like a group of, like a squad here, and you can I don't have to highlight, I could just click up here and I have all of them selected. You can have them based off of selection. So if I highlight these two, they become two squads instead of just one. If I individually select this guy, it becomes three squads, but if I highlight all of them, it automatically groups them together. I think there is a max. I don't know exactly what it's at, but there is a max of like 12. So, and it doesn't really matter unless you're really micromanaging a really small squad. But either way, let's come over here. We're just gonna have one dude do this. Let's just have our little main character over here, the helmet dude. Grab some grenades here. There we go. And have him up over here. And it's just like a little MG bunker. That's weird. So there's two ways we could do this. We could press F1, or I usually just click down here since it's easier for me. And you can
throw grenades to eliminate targets behind cover. For the most effective use of grenades, you can cook them in direct control mode. Select a single soldier and press the direct control button on the bottom left of the interface, or press the hotkey E by default. Direct control allows you to micro-control one unit with WASD movement and mouse aiming and shooting.
So yeah, if I press mouse 4, which is like some yeah, there you go. Okay, it's that button on my computer. If I hold, I throw it. I think I got the timing wrong. Yeah, oh, I still got it. And I don't understand why he's just not reloading his rifle. Here we go. And if I cook it, so if I cook it, it doesn't allow them to have. Did I throw that wrong? I totally did. I'm gonna have him throw from the back so I don't end up killing anyone on accident. Let's see here. And you can throw much further in this game. So yeah, cooking, so it doesn't allow them to throw it back or react to it at all. So very nice.
Now you have acquired basic weapons training. You may look around the facilities and explore all the testing grounds which Kummersdorf has to offer. You will find the latest military equipment on various testing grounds. Once you consider yourself ready for posting, board the trucks at the disposal area. You will be delivered to your regiments.
Alright, so we won't have too much of the voiceovers interrupting us anymore. But regardless, I do think there is a truck we could steal that's somewhere around here. I'm gonna Detroit the Germans. Maybe not here.
You can always open the mission objectives menu using the button on the bottom left of the interface, or by clicking O by default. You can click on each mission objective to show where it takes place on the map. Secondary mission objectives are not essential for the completion of the mission.
Alrighty. If I do remember correctly, the first time I did this, he kept saying it, but I think for now we're very safe. So, for now, let's just give it a quick jog over here. And I'm going to click on this one. Alright, so our first objective is to come over here and do resupply. So this will teach us how to refuel and rearm and whatnot. So, hopping over here, I really hope that vehicle doesn't run over my guys. Wow, okay, that was
That is the
very
fuel
lucky.
station. Our vehicles need fuel to keep on running. You should familiarize yourself with the refueling process.
There are two ways that you can refuel a vehicle. Automatically, by driving a refueling supply truck close to it, or manually with fuel cans. To use fuel cans, collect them into your soldier's inventory, and while holding them, clicking on a fuel source like fuel trucks and big barrels will fill the empty can with fuel. When the can is full, you can pour out the fuel contents into the empty vehicle.
Alright, and I think this is actually where we get to steal one of the vehicles. I'm pretty. This is still a thing you can do in Men of War. So a lot of this, the developers like for Rob's Realism and whatnot, is exactly the same here. So I'm gonna come over here, and he's gonna walk very slow with an empty can. Actually no, yeah, it's very empty. So now it is full. He's gonna walk over here, and he's gonna give that fuel to the truck. I've never played a round where I was running out of fuel or running out of any kind of oil or anything like that. So, thank the Lord. But it's never really been an issue. I think I also have to. Give him oil. Just not fun, but oh well. Actually, no, I don't think it works that way. Anyways, that's one way to do it. The other way you can is just hopping in here, and I don't think I've ever spawned a fuel truck. I feel like the biggest use for it is literally driving it up to the
There are
enemy.
two ways that you can refuel a vehicle. Automatically, by driving
One
a
way
refueling
is
supply
by
truck close to it,
just
or manually
sending
with
it
fuel
into the
cans.
battle and having it explode
To
behind
use
enemy
fuel cans,
lines.
collect them into your soldier's inventory, and while holding them,
Yep.
clicking on a fuel source like fuel trucks and big
Very
barrels
nice.
will fill the empty can with fuel. When the can is full, you can pour out the fuel
Alright,
contents
next
into the empty
objective.
vehicle.
Go to the AT gun shooting range, which is across the map. I would rather not do that. Let's see here. Go to this squad. Actually, no, it's right here. Sorry about that. And they will. Oh, actually, my good sir, you don't need that. Yep. So we're all gonna jog over here. Have a jerry old time with
This
the
is
AT
the
guns.
cannon range. Here we will show you how to engage enemy armored targets with a variety of projectiles. Crew the 3,7 cm pack anti-tank gun with your soldiers to begin the ballistics briefing.
Yes, and this is what a lot of you have been asking for, so this is a very important part, so I'll try to do my best to make it as satisfactory as I possibly can. Where's my squad? There we go. And these guns typically take up to 4 crew. I do think just about any crew can do it, but it'll be slightly slower without a charger, or a leader, or a commander, or whatever it is. They actually spawn with a crew
The
of 4 at least.
3,7 pack light anti-tank gun fires various types of ammunition. To penetrate and destroy armored targets, use armor-piercing and armor-piercing composite rigid rounds. To penetrate the thicker blades in front of you, use APCR. Against angled armor, APCR will ricochet off instead of penetrating. AP shells are more effective in this case. For wooden or other soft targets, high explosive shells are best. These shells detonate on impact and cause a lot of damage to non-armored objects. Unlike AP shells that would pass through and cause little damage. The high-velocity APCR shells are lightweight and penetrate more than AP shells at close ranges, but they lose the kinetic energy quickly at long ranges. It is better to use AP shells to engage distant targets.
You will need to manually shoot the targets in direct control. Press E by default to switch to direct control with the selected unit. Press T by default to toggle classic and third-person modes. Note that the longer you aim at a target, the more accurate your shot will be.
Alright, so we have AP with HE filler here. So what we're going to be doing is, I think, here, there's one. And then we have to reload. Very nice. And then APHE takes out those targets over there. But I think if I use APHE on these targets, it doesn't work. However, if I use Armor Piercing Composite Rigid, it does work. There. Very nice. And in addition to that, there are many different other kinds of cannons. So if I can get my guys to decrew, come over here. See here. Okay. Y'all all come over here. So there are many types of cannons. It seems like the only other one that they really have to show here is an infantry cannon, which is the Lee. So here we have the 7.5 and this, actually no, they're both 7.5s. What's the difference? Literally nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to man this. And this isn't something you would typically use against an armored target. See, it is not high velocity. The cannon is very short, which is why it's called an infantry, or maybe perhaps a field gun. You've heard it as that. So if I take it over here, I do have heat rounds, but not many. I only have 10, and it's really if you're lucky. But still, it's good enough, and it's incredibly inactive. But see how it has to aim up. It does not, and it is incredibly inaccurate. It's meant for HE rounds. So see how I have 41 HE rounds and only 10 heat rounds. Heat is meant for, I don't know, last-ditch efforts. But when I go full here and I aim, I don't get a direct shot. I kind of go up. So it's very artillery-like. It's kind of between like a direct fire cannon and a mortar. So here, fire at that. Oh, big whoop. Yep. So very cool. Very nice. I really like that aspect that they're able to integrate into here. I'm going to steal their vehicle because you can't have shit in Detroit. Shit in Germany, I guess. Dusseldorf. And on to our next objective. MG and mortar training. Some of these guys pull up over here. And this is not incredibly as important, but it's still very nice. You know, it's always the little tips and tricks that make things more fun. That didn't happen, no worries. Oh God. What was that? Good Lord. Okay, nobody died. It's fine. I think they've cheats on, no worries. It's pretty good they don't hit the shield trucks. So MG training. This is nothing too crazy, but it does tell you how to use a H&G and put them on a tripod or a recoilless thing. Whenever my car decides to get here. Ooh, look at that schnasty 3-point turn. Alright, cool. So it's gonna pull up in here. And then I'm gonna unload. Much better than walking. I'm glad I was able to steal this.
This is the MG and mortar range. Infantry support weapons are essential, and you should train using them. You need to man these vehicles with at least 2 operators to move them, and they're very effective when placed in strategic positions.
You can place different weapons on the tripod. Start off by collecting an MG34 machine gun from the box and put it in the tripod's inventory. You can examine vehicles in inventory by pressing X by default.
Alright, so we're going to check out the mortar, because since I'm American, I'm going to be going left to right. So the mortar, nothing too crazy. Typically how this is used is you get onto it, and then you press attack at ground, so it attacks like a certain area. So I'll be having, say, attack this position, and they won't have to range really anything. It's kind of immediate. It's kind of inaccurate, and that's kind of also the point. It's kind of hard to do precision. It's meant for suppressive fire, and the fact that they have HE means it just shoots shrapnel everywhere. That was actually a very excellent shot on their part, and they'll fire multiple rounds until they're eventually out. And here, do they have smoke rounds? They do have smoke rounds. So I'm gonna have them switch to smoke rounds, and if I attack here, I'm just gonna launch like little smoke rounds. That's entirely meant for concealment. So I'm gonna have them hold fire now, and I'm gonna have them decrew the thing. No, You need to stop firing, good sir. And then over here, is MG training. So what I want to do is pull one of these men and go over here. And then I'm going to pull this machine gun off. And then I'm going to go over here. So press X, go to the box, press X again, and look at this pod, and throw the machine gun onto it. Oops.
Now you have to mount the machine gun. To do so, screw the tripod and open the tripod's inventory by selecting it and hitting the hotkey I by default. Double-click on the machine gun in the inventory to mount it. Now, shoot all the targets in the firing range. You will notice mounted weapons are more accurate and have less.
Sorry about that. Let's see. I need to do something here. I actually forgot how to do this. So he said to just double click it over there, but that's obviously not just the case. Is there another machine gun in there? There is. This will be our machine gun boy. And then I think I have to get onto it. There we go. Yep. I have to get onto it and then press I. Okay, sorry. You guys are probably screaming at your screens, but very accurate fire. Typically, this is manned by 2 people. Pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. There's usually like the assistant and then the actual gunner. I'm actually going to pull the driver out and have them hop onto the mortar. And there's just another machine gun over here. I don't really know what they want me to do with that. I think it's just to have 2 machine guns. So I'm gonna have you equip the HE and fire over here. So I'm just gonna attack all these positions real quick. So it's honestly very surprising, but this has a very like it's recoilless. So watch. So if I direct control this, you know, I'm firing it and there's very little recoil on my part. I'm just gonna spray over here and try to help the mortar take out these positions. So it's recoilless. It's very incredibly accurate over, you know, some decent range. You guys can stop firing. Oi, there you go. So it's nothing too bad, but it's very important to know in case, you know, you are curious. Alright, what's our next objective? Repair workshop. So that's nothing, again, too crazy. I'm gonna have the car come over here. Not too far away. So it's very fun. I love this game. This was I remember this being a little tedious, but was nothing too bad. So here we got a Panzer 1. These were actually used in cutscene.
Hey you! Can you lend me a hand here? I've injured my hand, but I still have to get this tank up and running for this evening's exercises. If you can, get some repair tools and fix it.
So Panzer 1s I've heard are on the bottom. They were used for like demining some fields because
Different components of vehicles can be damaged on the battlefield. Tracks, engine, gun, turret, body, etc. You will need repair kits to repair these components. You can find them in most vehicles' inventories. Repair kits are a single-use item. If multiple components are broken, you will need a repair kit for each component. Take a repair kit from the vehicle into your soldier's inventory. Then when the soldier is selected, press the repair button in the bottom right corner of the interface, the wrench icon. Lastly, click on the vehicle to order your soldier to repair it.
So, I have a much simpler way of doing this. It is just simply pressing Shift R. So you go over here, you pick up a repair kit, and that's usually already in the tank. So what you want to do is just, if your tank is damaged, like if it's tracked and it still has crew inside, just press Shift R, and then the crew will hop out, take the repair kit out of the tank and then immediately repair it. So it's nothing too crazy. It looks like this guy here is double tracked, which really sucks. I know what that's like. So, but you can get crews working on multiple things at the same time, which is what I was trying to do, but it looks like that's not as possible. So it looks like this guy might have to do 2 repairs, I think. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 if you're double tracked. Nope. It is done.
Vielen Dank, Soldat. I see you have some useful skills.
Alright, very cool. Hop back into the Detroit Mobile, and we'll go to our last 2, armor vehicle test. And this is where a lot of you are going to want to pay attention. I've been asked a lot about tank training and stuff like that, so very, very nice. So you just press Shift R and then click on what vehicle you want to repair. If a little X comes up, that means you simply just cannot repair it, which sucks. It happens a lot in Men of War. Repairs are very far and in between in Men of War, so very sad, but it's fine. Nothing I'm too worried about.
Behold, the latest design of our armored forces. The Panzertrail. With this kind of armor, nobody can stop us. Feel free to board this tank and take it for a test drive.
Alright, so Panzer 3, very, very nice. We did leave somebody behind. There's only 3 people in the car. Let's see here. Go back to the little training area. Oh, did we permanently lose somebody? Huh. Oh, that's why. He's gonna try to catch up. So yeah, I just forgot to unequip the thing from him. And here's a regular old tank man. And here's a Panzer 3 just vibing in here. So he wants us to go here, and that's not what you're supposed to do. Sometimes.
In front of you is an obstacle course. Move to the highlighted points and destroy targets as quickly as possible. For effective control of the tank, switch to the direct control mode using the E key. In direct control mode, switch quickly to specific weapons using the keys 1 to 4 or right mouse click to cycle to all the weapons.
I do think those are all the targets, right? Unless there's more. Do you think that's it? He's just not in the little circle that he's supposed to be in. So he goes in here, and then yeah, I do remember this part being a little sketchy. There we go. I'm just a little sped. So you gotta hit all these targets. I don't know why it's taking so long. There we go. Oh, he wants us to go over here. So, we gotta remember our APCR and our AP rounds here. So we only got 4 targets here, and here's a very, very important control for those who are curious, is to press R. This is incredibly important because it tells you your tank which way to face, turret, and your armor. So, for some basic anatomy, here on the front side of the tank is the most heavily armored. Pretty much anything that you go to equal or lesser quality will not penetrate the front of this tank, if you're lucky. However, on the side here, you're more or less likely to get pinned or penetrated on the side here by something of equal or greater caliber. And on the back here, of course, here's the engine. Here's your most vulnerable spot, because not only will the turret be not able to face you, but that's just the weakest part, because it's the engine, and if you take that out, you most likely take the tank out. So, without further ado, let's switch to this. APHE, so it's just armor piercing, high explosive. Oops, I meant to do APCR. And so this goes fairly quickly, very nice. I think APCR actually might be able to pen all of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And press 2, we switch to this. And there's another target over here. Here we go. AP composite rigid. There you go, and you get the little telltale noise. We go up here, and we continue our mission. So very nice, nothing too crazy. You got to be sure though that you know the difference between this type of cannon, this little stub-nosed, and the high velocity, much longer cannon, which have much higher penetration rates. So here we have some weak armor, but we'll still hit it with our APCR. But that's probably pushing the limit of what how far APCR can go. There's allies over there I was actually accidentally shooting at. Shouldn't have been in the way. Alright, this area is clear. I'm gonna take out this guy real quick. Alright, go to this position. And in addition to that, you can queue moves by pressing this and then shift, because I want my tank to turn around after hitting that position. So what he'll do, I want him to go here. But what's going to happen is that he's going to go here first and then go over here just so the game doesn't glitch. So nothing too crazy. I don't know why he's getting so maneuverable. He can run half of this stuff over, except maybe the hedgehog. So nothing too crazy. Over here is a special forces training. There's nothing, I don't find the need to do it really, because there's nothing about it that's useful as much as this is. So what I'm going to do is, you never want to have your tank like this because the very bottom of the tank is very weak. So if any of you have ever heard of a hold down position, this is probably the best you're going to do in a combat situation, have your hull facing downward. So I'm going to be attacking all these positions here. Oops, nope, I want you to stay here. Well, the tank doesn't recognize it as like quote-unquote infantry position, so it's simply just gonna try to fire at it with its main cannon. Here, oh, this is a bit of an awkward place to put a tank. Can I just run them over? No, but I can't shoot them. I can shoot them point blank. Very cool, and I do think there is one more target. I don't know if it's at 20 down there. Oops. So let's use the APHE. So that's slightly weaker armor, but at a distance away, so that'll APHE works just fine against it. And moving on to the last part of the course, which is right here. Actually, no. What I want you to do, let's go through there. Because he's like trying to use the road and stuff, which is fine. You know, typically you don't want to go through murky crap, but it just takes longer. Alrighty, so nothing too crazy. I hope that was important. I hope you guys like this. It'll end very soon, and I'll give a battle analysis at the end with some final notes of the training, so y'all can take some notes and hopefully benefit from this video somewhat. So as the tank approaches this, oh no, it wants us to do more. Okay. And do keep in mind that most tanks do have 2 machine guns. They have the hull, and they have the what's it called? They have a coaxial too, so one that operates with the cannon. Does it want us to go through again? Okay. So it really wants to ingrain this in our minds. So the tanks, I even usually avoid tanks that don't have machine guns on them because they're not quite as useful unless they're tank destroyers, because their overwhelming powerful cannon will usually to make up for the fact that they don't have a machine gun, and usually by then I'll have support with it, so I won't have to worry about a machine gun. Like, so I'll usually have like infantry with it or something like that, some kind of help for it. Are there targets? I do not see targets. Nope, it wants us to not decrew, but come over here. Try not to run the guy over. So yeah, so APCR for short, maybe even thicker armored targets, however, loses a lot of energy over time, its velocity, so you'll probably want to, over time, or over distance, want to use APHE or something of this sort. I typically don't bother, I usually just stick with the APBC.
Gute Arbeit. I see. This tank will become your favorite in battle.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, I usually don't bother. You usually just see me use APCBC, or armor piercing composite discarding, no, ballistic capped. So yeah, I won't be doing the special forces training unless requested. So because I don't find the need for that. There's nothing crazy. You come in here, they equip you a bunch with a bunch of weapons. See, where is it? It's over here. You come in here and then like you clear buildings and you shoot and you throw grenades and it's just kind of everything combined. So nothing crazy. I don't think that there's anything that important in there. Um, so over here, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna discard and we're gonna go to battle with our comrades. Oh, those helmets look big on them. So, some final notes is that some of you will realize
All right, soldiers, make the fatherland
um,
proud.
some s- some important notes to take is that there are three calibers of rifle, um, of cannon actually. I consider there to be three. There will be the 45 millimeter, the 75 millimeter, and the 105 millimeter. 45 millimeter or less than that is considered to be light vehicles, trucks, maybe even a support cannon, like high explosive, since they're typically lower velocity to use to be against infantry, very early game. Then you have stuff such as the 75 millimeter. You might see it as 7.5 centimeters, since 10 millimeters go into a centimeter. Um, the 8.8, but the 7.5 is kind of in between everything, and it is very useful against mid-game tanks such as perhaps the uh, T-32 or T-26, and perhaps even side shot a nice Sherman. Most Shermans do have a 75 or 76 millimeter, though the cannon type also makes a difference. The longer barrel typically does more damage, higher velocity, and the shorter cannon is usually like a howitzer. It's supposed to be for infantry support. Um, and the 105 destroys virtually everything. You can get away with a nice, probably 8.8 shot on the side of a Tiger if you're lucky. And it's also a matter of just equation, because if you know that your tank isn't going to be able to take out the opposing tank, the most you could do is try to damage it, such as the track it so it can't move and try to get some infantry behind it or something like that, because your infantry can run much faster than the turret can turn. So it is always very, thinking, being resourceful, and being able to go on the spot. I know a lot of you are very new, so don't if you are not doing too well, don't fret. You're very new. You have a lot to learn, so it's okay. I was new once, so I'll just be able to help you if you have any questions whatsoever. If you want me to perhaps even do a diorama or a visual with how the cannons work, I will. I'll get a whiteboard app for you guys. So if you have any questions or anything to build off of this, feel free to comment down below. If you liked what you see, please like the video, and if you like what you see on my channel, please feel free to drop a subscribe and join the best YouTube community that there is out there in our Discord. And very friendly over there, very very loving, very kind. We goof around a lot, so we have a lot of fun. So thank you guys for your wonderful support. I love you all, and have a great night.